Are you realistic about the kind of man that you deserve? Often I find that women, unlike men, greatly idealize the spouse that they think they should have. Now, why this is, who knows? There's a lot of neuroses that women probably are born with, and then some that they pick up in the society. But women have such high requirements of men, but are not meeting those requirements. I'll give you one example. I know a young lady that thought she was worthy of me. Now let's look at her on one side of the scale and look at me on the other side of the scale. She had braces, dental braces. My teeth are fine. She went to average schools. I went to prestigious schools. She lives with her parents. I don't live with my parents and haven't lived with my parents since I was 16. So she has no career. I do. Now, what in her mind makes her think that she's worthy of dealing with me? What is she bringing to the table? That's what you should be asking yourself. If you're finding that you're not getting the guy you think you deserve, you have to look objectively and ask yourself, do you really deserve this guy? Are you overrating yourself? There's nothing wrong with shooting for the stars, but if you shoot for the stars in terms of trying to get a guy who's clearly out of your league, he will never take you seriously. You will always be a side girl, and you really are doing that to yourself. If you're realistic and trying to get a guy who's actually on your level, you're going your appropriate speed on the freeway, not getting out of your lane, then you'll have a guy who will cherish you and respect you. Now, when I say the guy's on your level, clearly women are hypergamous, meaning they want a man that at some level has an edge on them. Financially, intellectually, whatever the case is, they have some level of superiority so that they may be in the leadership position. So there's nothing wrong if you're earning $50,000 to want a guy who's earning $80,000. But if you're earning $50,000 to want a guy who's earning $100,000, might be quite a big skip forward. Generally speaking, the guy who's earning twice as much as you might be out of your league. Not to say that there are not some factors that might allow you to get a higher earning man. You might be a tremendously gorgeous woman. That might allow you to get a higher earning man. But generally speaking, if you're relying on your looks, you're going to find a man who will be adulterous because he's overconsumed with your looks and ignoring the fact that you don't have much to offer educationally, professionally, or emotionally, right? So you never want to rely on your looks as the factor that puts you in a certain guy's league. You really want to rely on the fact that you have a complete package, emotional stability, you give him great support, you're very understanding, you can engage in a meaningful conversation with him, you can add value to his work. Those are the qualities that successful men look for in a woman, and those are the qualities that will help you be a woman worthy of a great man. But don't look too high in the sky, look to a realistic place. I don't tell you this to dash your hopes. I tell you this because I speak to a lot of women and they all seem to want the same kind of guy. 6 foot or taller, handsome, making 6 figures. Well, it turns out most of those guys are taken. There's not a lot of those guys. The guys who are making 6 figures or better, those are the guys who worked really hard in school to get this money, primarily because they weren't getting the girls that they wanted. So they're using this money as a proxy to get the girls that they wanted. The guys who are 6 foot or taller and making those 6-figure salaries, those are athletes, of which there are few professional athletes. And then those are a couple guys in executive leadership, and those guys have wives already. And if you are fortunate enough to get one, fantastic. But just know those guys are highly sought after. So you really need to be realistic about what you're pursuing and make sure that you are worthy of the prize that you're looking for. I don't say that to dash your hopes. I want you to reach for the best, but I want you to be realistic. If you work at CVS or you work at, H&M, you're probably not going to end up with a guy making 6 figures, right? So, and if you do want that guy, make sure that you get some lessons on etiquette, how to conduct yourself so that when you get in that environment, you know how to blend in and thrive within that environment. Just want to give you a quick note. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, please do share below. I'm interested to hear your perspective. Till next time.